And for more on the fraying ties between the EU and Turkey, I'm joined in the studio by Laura Batalla Adams, who is Secretary General of the European Parliament's Turkey Forum. Thank you so much for coming in the studio. Is it safe to say that this is the lowest point in the EU-Turkey relationship since a long time?
We could say that, actually. It's not only since 2005 that we are negotiating accession talks with Turkey. Our relations date back for more than half a century now. It has always been one of the key priorities in foreign policy for Turkey to become a member of the EU. Back in the 60s, in the last century, Turkey already applied for an associate membership to the European community back then. And it was only in 1999 when Turkey was granted a candidate status. Then accession talks started in 2005, but the progress has been very, very slow. In the past 12 years, it seems that we haven't come closer together, but we have drifted apart in a way like we see nowadays. This has to do mainly with two reasons, I would say. One is the political blockage of the process by some member states in the EU and the Council as a whole due to the Cyprus issue. And the other one is because we have been seeing deterioration in when it comes to some key areas on fundamental rights, freedoms and rule of law on Turkey's side. This is why we ended up now with a couple of resolutions in the European Parliament calling to freeze or suspend the accession talks.
Laura, very quickly, there's been a coup in this country, in Turkey, in the past year. We've seen terrorist attacks. There's been 30 attacks in this city where we are in Istanbul, elsewhere as well. Given the context of what's gone on in Turkey, do you think Europe and EU leaders realize the challenges that Turkey faces?
I think it took time to realize, in a way. The EU immediately condemned the coup after it happened, and it showed its solidarity to the people in Turkey. This was clear. Maybe we haven't seen an engagement until very recently, for example. Now we have been seeing a series of high-level visits of commissioners coming to Turkey. A couple of weeks ago, there was the Humanitarian Aid Commissioner, the Transport Commissioner. Now there has been a high-level political dialogue, but President Erdogan was in Brussels at the sidelines of the NATO summit, meeting with both President of the Commission and the Council. But this has been slow. For a long time, we didn't have an open and direct contact or dialogue with each other. We have been mainly talking about each other in the media with a highly inflammatory rhetoric, which has not helped at all in our relations. And now I think we are starting to have this open and frank dialogue on both sides, because both sides should be listened and understood. I mean, there are a lot of issues that are not understood by the other side. So I hope that now we will see this reinforced dialogue. We saw it at the last week. There was this dialogue, and Federica Mogherini, the High Representative, said very clearly, Turkey is and remains a candidate country. So end of the discussion.
Laura, thank you so much for your insights, and thank you for coming to the studio. Laura Batalla Adams, who is the Secretary General of the European Parliament's Turkey Forum.